Hello and welcome to another tip on Maximo. Today we're going to talk about the Maximo Start Center, essentially the Maximo main menu since Maximo version 5, probably 5.2, 5.1 or 5.2. Available originally as a download, later on becoming an integral part of the Maximo application, included what we're using now, version 7.5. So within the Start Center, you have single-click shortcuts to individual applications, result sets, or essentially queries brought out to the Start Center either in list or graphic form, key performance indicators, essentially a structured query language statement running against the database resulting in a number, and then of course it's trended, tracked, and can provide that in list or graphic form. The workflow inbox, having things that are routed to you from different applications within workflow collected in one place, and a bulletin board, essentially a place for messages to an individual user, groups, or all users. And without further ado, what we're going to do is actually take a look at the Start Center inside the Maximo application. And for this session, we're primarily going to talk about managing the real estate, moving around in the Start Center. Subsequently, we will actually look at the design of the individual portlets, as they are called, within the development and building of your individual Start Center. Generally, what you'll have, you have different views, you have different types of views for the Start Center. You also have multiple Start Centers as a possibility. You don't have to have just one. So you may have this sort of even viewed Start Center where the left half of the screen and the right half of the screen are the same. We move over to another one when we have sort of the narrow wide view where the narrow side is over to the left. Another view may have the narrow side over to the right, or the wide narrow view. So depending on what your preference is, and of course security rights, that's something that can be set up for you. And let's say, for example, instead of having the administration as my default that comes up when I first log in, I want the maintenance Start Center in this case. So I've got display settings, and there you can see I have a few other Start Centers that I'm not displaying. I want to have the maintenance Start Center as my default, so I'll simply choose OK. And then it'll become the first Start Center. When I log in, that's where it'll take me to. Now, within this, you again, individual shortcuts. You have favorites or quick insert. Big difference, favorites just take you to the application. Quick insert takes you to the application and essentially inserts a record. So you've got, in this case, a work order inserted. You can fill in the other information. I'm going to go back to the Start Center, not going to save this, and there we are. Your workflow inbox, and what you see here, there's no data here. It's actually minimized. I'm going to move that up and see I don't have any assignments here. This is just another way you can manage the real estate on your Start Center. When you're literally just running out of space, you can minimize individual portlets and maximize them on demand. The KPIs can appear in this graphic format where you have multiple KPIs in a single graph. You can have them in list format as well, where you just have the listed KPI. The same actual target variance information that appears here in the list, also available to you up here in the graph. The graph also contains the last reading information. And if you need to look at the individual details around the KPI, you can at any point in time go to that KPI. Shows you a trend. And these data points are provided to you via the running of the KPI cron task on frequency and time period that you set up, so that you get the continuing creation of data points that you would actually be able to trend. You can look at the historical values, you can download this data, put it into your own spreadsheet or other device for analysis depending on your individual preference. If you need to look at the KPI itself and its individual details, you have access to that, again based on your rights within security. We'll go back to the actual Start Center. You'll notice here another one I have minimized, again just running out of real estate. This is the Kpi Single Graph and a sort of speedometer type view. And again, having rights, you can go to the Kpi, look at its details, look at trending, and so on. I'm going to minimize this again. Now you also have this update option. You can update your Kpi and get fresh data. And essentially, it would be running the statements that generate the Kpi immediately. Those would execute individually and then provide you with updated data and updated information. They will not, however, provide you with an additional data point. That is done only by the cron task. Other things you'll have are individual result sets. In this case, we have electrical open and approved work or mechanical open and approved work. And it looks like, we have color options where you can highlight records based on some value. In this case, I believe it's based on the priority, but we'll take a look at the design of the portlet and over here in display options. So priority, work order priority, less than or equal to 3, and it is purple. And you have different color options. They equate to this, what I believe is a hexadecimal value, and it's something that's internal, but when you're selecting them, fortunately, you get the actual colors. I don't remember the hex. Thank goodness for they actually got that for you. You also have the capability to present your result sets in graphic format. So this one's not set up yet. We'll take a look at the graphic option. Let's say we'll do this by priority. Of course, you can look up the field, but in the interest of time, I'm just going to cheat, and thank goodness to autofill being a portion of this application. I simply put in a part of it, tab, it validates it, and I hit OK. And I can see the graphical view in this case by priority. And these are live links. You have many different ways to get to the actual record. So say, for example, I want to look at an individual work order. I can simply click on it. That'll take me into the application that holds the query and take me directly to that work order. Additionally, I can filter this group, say those that are simply in progress. So I'll reduce it down to 3, and I have a new icon pretty much coming in Maximo 7. Open a result set in the application, and then I'll open the list of the 3 work orders and work order tracking. And last but certainly not least, the individual bar that is present within the graphic version. If I click on it, in this case, it's showing me that priority 9, there are 18 actual work orders. I'll click on priority 9. That'll take me to work order tracking and show me the 18 individual work orders. So I'll go back to the Start Center. That's just some general information about the Start Center itself, its individual capabilities, and our next sessions will actually get into the details of how each portlet is designed and some of the other functionality within the Start Center. Thanks very much. For more information, www.projetech.com. Thanks very much, and have a good day.